Hey there, you're tuning in to LowKey by Oaky, our easygoing sessions for hotel professionals where we chat about industry trends, issues, and solutions.
Ladies and gentlemen, warm welcome to another super exciting episode of LowKey by Oaky. Joined with us today is a really fantastic human being, one of Oaky's first customers and a guy who I'm really proud to nowadays call my friend. We talk about all kinds of things nowadays. And we were talking about exciting topics here at, with regards to LowKey. And we wanted to really understand what is it like from a hotel owner that have already like an amazing product, but that want to take what you can call like classical luxury and hospitality and drive that forward using technology. So on that note, I'm extremely excited to have Lucas Schopman from Hotel Ambassade with us today. Welcome, Lucas.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
And Schopman, I just learned, means spade man.
Spade man, yeah, that's it.
Very cool. Hey, Lucas, I think your answer to this question will be extra special because you are born into hospitality. And you are part of this incredible hotel, which I would love to talk a little bit more about later. But as a son being brought into hospitality in such a special way, what does hospitality mean to you?
Good question. Yeah, being hospitable, I think, is being open to everybody, always welcoming your guest into your safe haven, as we call it. Especially a hotel. When you greet guests, they should feel welcome and safe, and everything should be arranged. And I think hospitality is about taking away any worries that anybody has, or making them feel comfortable and welcome.
When you're at Ambassade, you don't have any deadlines as a guest.
No, that's it. That's it. It should really feel like the cliche home away from home.
Yeah, beautiful. I have stayed with Ambassade many times. When I have my family over, I try to have them stay at Ambassade. Yeah. I've had incredible experiences there. Could you maybe share with our listeners? It's such a unique property. Explain, what it's like and what's special about it.
Yeah, we are a boutique hotel. Even before the whole term boutique hotel existed, actually, we are based in the canals on the Herengracht. It's 12. Canal buildings in total, 56 rooms, and they're all unique. So every room has its own identity, and we shape every room based on the artwork that's there.
And that artwork is predominantly from one artist, right?
We have over 800 works, mostly from the Cobra movement, which stands for Copenhagen, Brussels, and Amsterdam.
Okay, yeah. How did was it your father who started everything, or?
He didn't start the hotel, but he took it over when he was younger. Yeah, he started as a dishwasher in the Amstel Hotel.
Oh, really?
Then he worked in room service at the Okura.
Wow.
And then he found a job in a little hotel that only had two buildings back then.
And then he did the astonishing work of buying adjacent buildings.
That's it.
And that, that couldn't have been an easy feat. Wow.
Well, back in the 80s, it was.
It was easier? Okay. Yeah. Well, incredible. If you ever get a chance to visit Amsterdam, to anyone listening, please take a look at Hotel Ambassade. It's really, really incredible. So, Lucas, this home away from home, removing any friction, how has that definition of hospitality, if it has that changed to you, like over time as the world has changed and especially technology has taken over so much of our lives?
I think that's a nice topic to talk about, and that's also what triggered me. And I was thinking about it. I think as hospitality professionals, you should always make your guests feel comfortable, as I said. And I think technology is something that supports that, and it should always be secondary to your to your staff that is already hospitable by itself, but then you can enhance someone's stay by using the right technology.
And when you choose technology for Ambassade, how do you choose first and foremost this will enhance the guest experience, or do you choose based on operations, or like what's your driver for what you choose normally?
For me, there's three important things. If it improves the quality of the hotel in general,
And what do you mean by quality?
So if we can perform better, if we have more insights, if we can upgrade security, all kinds of these things that are connected to technology or safety in general. Second point is if it improves the guest experience. If it improves the guest experience, then we should always consider it.
Yeah.
And last is employee satisfaction.
Yeah, that's super interesting. The especially employee satisfaction. Like today, we unfortunately since COVID have had a just rampage of people leaving our industry.
Yeah.
Every hotel that we speak to have an issue somewhat compared to before. Even if they still have solid teams, it's more difficult with staff retention and keeping talent. When you implement technology, how do you think about change management? How do you get staff to really buy into new solutions that you want them to be using or whatever?
That's a really good question, and that's always hard to change someone's opinion about something that they've been working with for a long time, or to start using a system that they've never seen before. So, as a business owner or as a manager, you have a different view on the business, and you get in touch with several systems before the rest of the market does. And when you get excited about something, then you have to communicate it well to your staff and to your guests, of course. So yeah, that it's not an easy feat to change something, but it's about the proper training, about the proper implementation, and explaining why you see this as a benefit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm asking you as a hotelier. I also have the same problem.
Yeah, I know.
When we want to implement things, there is this amazing triangle called the 5 dysfunctions of a team, where it starts with having trust, that you dare to share what's in your mind. And then this is very important, where everyone is allowed to share conflict. Yeah. Saying, I don't agree with this, but my voice is heard, and then I agree to disagree, and I will move on. That I've learned is absolutely critical. Something that I take with me, certainly when it comes to change management.
Nice.
Yeah. And then you lead to, because when you've had conflict, you then can get towards accountability, that you will actually do what you say, which then leads to results. Very interesting for anyone who listens. The 5 dysfunctions of a team. So, Lucas, when we talked, you proudly shared that you were one of the first Fidelio users back in the day, and like, how does Hotel Ambassade's kind of tech journey look like? And take us from all the way back in the day.
All the way back in the day. Well, it's nice stories to share. Back in the day, everything was done in a ledger, old-fashioned, writing down the number of guests in your room. Number of what kind of value you put on the room, and it was all done based on paper. Then I think the telex came.
I don't know what a telex
was. The predecessor of the fax machine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We were one of the first to start using that, and then
was it a similar as a fax machine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Similar to a fax machine, and then
And what did you use it for back then? Was it for bookings or
bookings? Yeah, we were also one of the first to start using.
Really?
Booking.com and things like that.
Okay. Funny.
So we were always looking to upgrade our systems and to stay ahead of the game. But what makes it really difficult in the canal buildings that we house is the different room types that we have. So not one room is similar to the other one, and we have an occupancy of close to 100%. So it's really difficult to change rooms around. So what we actually designed, or back then, they designed a piece of paper that they wrote down all the room numbers on one side and then all the dates on the other side.
Yeah.
They were actually with a small pencil and eraser. They were
really
managing all the rooms.
Wow.
How
long ago is this? Is like the 80s or?
This was really fascinating always to me, and it was a really big piece of paper and all these names of the hotel guests written into to the small boxes, and then erasing. And if someone called, do you have a room available? They would run down and check if something was available. And this, believe it or not, we still used up until a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that? Because there was no system that could allow you to be so flexible?
That's it. Yeah. You know, of course, all the PMS systems that you guys also connect with, and they all have these solutions. And of course, everything is possible. But considering the occupancy rate that we have, it's so difficult to move rooms around.
Yeah.
So that always poses some difficulties. But going into the 21st century, I said it has to be possible. So we managed.
Very good. And you found such a partner in Mews, I believe.
Mews, yeah.
Cool. You started using Oaky, not to talk about Oaky necessarily, but what was the reasoning for you to start using an upselling technology like Oaky?
Like I said before, I think the technology also like Oaky should help your guests or your guest satisfaction. And I always believe in giving several options. So, for example, self check-in. You should always give the option also.
Yeah.
Of course, we pride ourselves in the personal service that we deliver.
Yeah.
But if you can offer them something to look at and show them the services that you're offering, then it can enhance someone's day, and that's something that we should consider.
Yeah.
I think the solution that Oaky provided for us was at the right time. You know, you gave us the tools to upsell everything that we wanted, to customize it. And like room upgrades are difficult for us because we are always full. But offering someone a bouquet of flowers or a bicycle rental, that was an easy way also to implement it and to get our staff to start using it.
Yeah. I love that you say that. I remember years ago when people said to me, Erik, upselling is never going to work in the luxury space because there is all about, and then pre-arrival upselling specifically. But as guests changed, that became critical, right? Because you will still have hotel guests that will never engage pre-arrival, and that's fine. But even if you have 5% that do, or 15 or whatever, you need to give them the option, right?
Exactly.
I think that's really key. But I wanted to ask on that note, guests' needs change. Probably your type of guests also change, although the product is maybe pretty much similar as it has been over the past years. Does the Ambassade service change? So your technology changes somewhat in your offering to meet the needs of the guest. But does your hospitality at its core change, or is there nuances that change, but the Ambassade trademark is always there?
I don't think so. I think the Ambassade trademark is the personal service, and that's what we call the Ambassade style. So the Ambassade style, which is very modest, actually. You know, so don't shout from the rooftops that we're that good. Just be low key, as the podcast is called, and that's I think it's a nice philosophy to have. And of course, the guests change, but what are you looking for when you're staying in a hotel? You want to feel comfortable. You want to do not worry about anything, especially if you pay the premium prices that we are asking. And then again, the technology is serving the guest experience. So if we can give them options even when they're not considering these options, I think that's also a nice part about Oaky. You know, if I go somewhere for a romantic weekend and then I get offered, hey, you want to have some flowers in the room?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a great idea. I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
So that's how you even enhance an experience for guests.
Yeah.
So based on that, we're making these choices to invest in upcoming technologies.
And speaking of that, how do you look at the future? So what future technologies are you adapting, and where do you see potential opportunities moving forward?
I think there's going to be more automation than there is now, and also AI is going to be a part of it.
Yeah. Do you have ideas on where that will play a role?
Well, actually, I was considering to start hiring people and get them to focus on these topics.
Okay.
Also to get to stay ahead.
Yeah. And what would you then? Do you have concrete use cases in mind? What you think are today cumbersome that you would like to fix, or?
Well, just simple things. I think that also make our work easier, or can make our work easier, which then gives us more time to focus on the guest.
Yeah.
And a simple example, and I think everybody knows this, but you've got ChatGPT, for example. It's a bit hard to use if you really want to get a nice tone of voice.
Yeah.
But I think this can really work in your favor. And now I've seen they've also added Canva into the ChatGPT. So things like that is gonna help the marketing departments a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And your idea is then hire people that bring in that culture and know-how to your team, basically.
Yeah,
smart.
And also start researching it.
Yeah.
What are best practices?
Yeah.
Where can we focus on? Because I think that's also something that for the hotel branch in general, we're quite traditional, and we should start looking ahead.
Yeah. For those of those listening, Lucas is by far my most entrepreneurial friend. He has like 10 business ideas every time we meet. So there's no shortage of good ideas from that brain, that's for sure. I love it myself. I was very proud. I wrote my idea about the future of upselling. Then I uploaded it in ChatGPT, and then out came an article. And I thought, oh, that sounds amazing. Then I showed it to our copywriter, and she's like, Erik, it looks like a robot wrote this.
Yeah.
So then we had it, and I changed it, made it into more my tone of voice. For sure, you can't rely on it as for face value, but once you get creative and learn how to manage it, it's incredibly powerful. Very, very exciting. What I was thinking, what are the things that you so basically you looked at, okay, we improve our guest experience, we can improve our employee satisfaction. What are some other unexpected benefits that you've had when implementing technology, or you think that you will have?
I think the rooms, for example, are getting smarter. You can manage your property much easier. Of course, these are
what would that be, like with temperature changing and stuff like that, or?
Everything like that, yeah. From security to managing your staff to keeping track of all the data that comes in.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important, that all the systems speak to each other.
Yeah.
That's something I really like for example, Mews.
Yeah.
It's just parallel to a smartphone. You can download every app you want and just start using whatever you like.
Yeah. That's so key. We had a guest on the previous episode, Modi, who is like a director of IT for 4 Seasons for 10 years and stuff. And he also talked, it's a bit different when you lead such a huge chain, but he said the biggest challenge in the industry is that no system is talking to anything else practically.
Yeah. And I think there's still so many challenges ahead. Just on room management, we start to communicate with each other a bit, but I think we can also learn a lot more from each other.
So Lucas, having implemented a lot of new tech and being a first, what we at Oaky call an innovator, like on the technology life cycle, you have innovator, early adopter, then you have a chasm, and then you have early majority. And you are always an innovator. That means you care about doing what no one else is doing. You're okay with that. There are some things that don't work as long as you have a vision that they get fixed. I mean, I don't know. I'm putting words into your mouth.
Well, I wanted to comment on that because we do want to stay ahead, and I'm always looking for new opportunities, but I am always considering the guest. And sometimes these technologies make the life easier for our staff, which should never be the primary focus.
Okay.
If it's, of course, happy staff is key, but sometimes it costs it saves us time. But then I'm asking, okay, but what are we going to use that time for?
Yeah.
So it should always enhance the guest experience.
Yeah, beautiful.
And if it's just something that makes our life easier, then it's something that we really have to look at.
Yeah.
For example, a chatbot on your website. It's an option. It's a really simple technology, and it's easy to use and easy to implement, but it takes away from the personal experience that you have.
Yeah. Probably is that mindset that has given you number 1 on TripAdvisor many times, I would imagine. My words, not yours.
Yeah, exactly. We stay humble.
Exactly. It's okay to be humble and still be proud, at least when you talk to me. Hey.
Yeah, I think that's also sharing our inside story. I think, just keep on focusing on that personal service.
Yeah.
When you're working in a hotel, you should radiate that passion and take the time for your guests. I think that's always well deserved, and that's what you read in our reviews.
Yeah. I saw a show, Simon Sinek on Instagram. He had this story about great companies. They don't worry about beating the competition all the time. It's about outlasting the competition. And you can only really do that by looking inwards.
Exactly.
How can we become better than we were last week? Better product, better service, better team. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah, I always use the phrase, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and our job is to look ahead. What are we doing in 5 years? In 10 years?
Yeah. So, Lucas, having gone through this many times, if you were to talk about young Lucas, what advice would you give him in terms of implementing new technology and how to think about these things?
Do it faster. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, another great example, I think, of a great system is Annoncé in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. What does that do?
It's digitalizing your tickets, actually, for the chef.
Okay.
So we're now working off screens, so you're saving on paper costs and whatever, but you've got all the data from your cash register, or it's communicating. So that's a great innovation. I think all the top restaurants are using it by now. Yeah, but it's not cheap to use, but it's such a nice system. So that's something I can really recommend, and that's something I would have done earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Lucas, thank you so much for sharing all of this cool information with us. It's a really remarkable story where you basically came from implementing Fidelio back in the day when there was black and white, and then they got color.
Yeah.
And then.
And sorry to interrupt, but I think that's important to also share. We are from a different generation. When I was doing the hotel school, you didn't have these systems yet. Yeah. And I think that's why it's also important to give the younger staff members the opportunity to develop their ideas and also to have a say in where to go.
Yeah. And how do you do that?
Hiring young people and then asking them what kind of technology and things they look for.
Interesting. And how do you think of the future? What does the future guest of Ambassade look like compared to what it does today?
Yeah, that's also something I think. If you look even at our parents at their age, then you wouldn't imagine them using these systems while they are. Yeah, they're on their phones all the time, even more than we are probably.
Yeah.
So I think it's constantly evolving, and then just make sure that everything stays focused on delivering the highest service to your guests. Yeah, whatever that means.
Bling plong. Thank you so much, Lucas. Super exciting conversation. We've come to the other stage of the podcast which is called the shameless plug. So you can talk about anything you want.
Nice.
Do you have something in particular you would like to market?
Well, if I can plug something, then I'd love to plug Unbookables.
Unbookables.
Unbookables.com. Yeah, I'd like to ask all the listeners to subscribe themselves as a member. We are a curated restaurant platform, and we are making the experience of booking and seeking out a restaurant easier
Okay.
for guests, and of course also for hotels. So we're looking for a particular segment in the restaurant industry. There are so many restaurants, and then finding the right restaurants is quite hard. And as I've done some research within our segment of hotels, I see that the recommendation list that they offer to their guests when they're looking for a restaurant is not really up to par, so to say. And we're keeping track of the latest developments in the city. We already have some plans to expand to other cities, and I think it makes the experience for the guests so much easier, because you don't have to call to a restaurant anymore, and you're offering the right restaurants to the right guests.
Yeah.
So something to consider.
Definitely. Everyone, listen to Lucas. Go to unbookables.com and sign up. Hey, Lucas. I think we can wrap up. It's been really inspiring listening to you. I take with me when we look at hospitality, it's all about quality, guest experience, and employee satisfaction. But at the very core and the forefront, in bold and italic and big font, it's all putting the guest needs first.
Exactly.
Whatever that means for your business. I think it's beautiful. It rhymes very much with how I think Oaky should be run, and the strategy we have around understanding what it is that our customers really want, and then trying to be the best solution to deliver on those needs and exceed on them, hopefully. I hope that for everyone that was listening, this was a really cool insight into how a hotel owner and someone who's really born into this industry looks at how it was from the young days when you were running around on the carpets in the hotel to now running the business, and what a successful business at that. It's a beautiful, beautiful hotel. Everyone, please go to Hotel Ambassade next time you're in town. Thank you so much for coming by, Lucas.
Thank you very much, and thank you guys for what you're doing.
Thank you.